Hey everyone, or I don't even know if anyone's here yet. Oh, I don't have my chat thing open. Sorry, give me a second here. Gotta get my multi-chat thing open. It's funny, I keep doing like a multi-stream thing, like to Mixer and other sites, but the only people that ever really show up are YouTube and Twitch, so I don't know, it's funny because I don't think I get noticed on those at all, but it's like I might as well broadcast it. No sense not broadcasting it, I guess. Yeah, give me a second, because I can't see comments here, sorry. I mean, I think I can see them in the stream, I just can't see them on my desktop. So, here we go. Okay, now I should be able to see. Alright, just give me a second or two here. I'm just going to throw around some, what do you call them? Heads up to people who might want to tune into the stream, so. Just give me a second. I hope everyone's doing okay. Hope everyone's ready to have fun. And be polite and respectful and stuff. I hope everyone's doing okay. Hope everyone's ready to have fun. And be polite and respectful and stuff. I love that Lucky Star music. It's catchy. Bum, 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 bum. And Discord is deciding to eat up all of my CPU. Oh, I see someone's here. But a quiet person, no comment. Ooh, this mysterious stranger. Unless my chat thing isn't working and I'm not seeing your comments. I hope that's not the case. Let me just make sure. Excuse me. Oh dear. Jeepers, what do I have in my throat? It's like something sitting right at the top, and it's like every time I talk, it wants to like, hee hee hee, I'm tickling you and making your voice sound like a robot. Go away, I don't like you messing with my voice. Voice. That I have. Yeah, anyways, we're gonna start watching some actual stuff here. So yeah, I've been watching this, breakdown of Kimba the White Lion, and it's partly a review of the series, but it also, he takes breaks to point out how people who have made this argument that Kimba the White Lion ripped off The Lion King, it's just not true, and a lot of cases people point out, actually the opposite has happened, where Kimba actually copied The Lion King. Like, The Lion King was a big movie. You know, it changed a lot about animation. So...
contained conflict that is resolved by the end of it. It's constantly changing ideas and
Hi,
introducing new
Sarzi.
characters. So when
Cesari696.
they're mostly just picking from
Or
random
as
points in the show.
my bot says,
The themes of the
SCRA.
show are all over the place and change from episode to
Yeah,
episode.
the fun names you get to pronounce as a streamer.
Don't judge an animal by the way it looks.
There's an episode where they learn agriculture.
Like, for me, I really hear a lot of June Foray when she does the voices here. June Foray was the voice of Rocky the Squirrel, so you'll definitely hear Rocky the Squirrel as the voice of some characters. Oh, or Granny. You know Granny from the Looney Tunes shorts?
See that, Father? Just the memory of you inspires everyone with courage.
There's another episode where they have a Wild West showdown. There's an episode where Kimba
Wild,
goes to
Wild
the
West,
World
West,
Fair in
West,
France.
Wild,
There's an
Wild West.
episode where a
Wiggy,
giant
wiggy, wow,
snake
wow, getting
hypnotizes
down with it with my...
everybody. So Kimba inspires everybody with a flashback about a time.
You know, I'd say with all apologies to Will Smith, but...
Not fair.
Actually, no, Will Smith has been a pretty good guy lately. I might not like his movies, but he's a good
Another
person.
episode where he has to fight a flying tiger.
Tell me what's happened to Dodie's mother. And besides, how come you have wings?
That's a stupid question. Why does anyone have wings?
There's an episode where
You know,
goes to
he
a
actually makes a
lion
good point.
convention
Why
and he
does
gets
anyone have
bullied
wings?
because of the color of his fur.
Why? Why does anyone have wings? Why does anyone have wings?
You're calling names just because he was white.
Get this kitten out of here.
So then his human friend gives him a history lesson, and he's like, yo, don't be upset. You're actually a superior race or something.
I wonder if I should... I'm gonna turn myself on the side, so it looks like I'm laying down.
I hope I can be like my ancestors as well as look like them.
Yes, Kimba.
If we're gonna talk about themes, I would
Oh,
argue that one of the most
Kimba!
consistent themes
No,
of
no,
this show
no.
would be colonialism. You know, kind of like a... let's
So yeah, there,
civilize
now
the
it looks like
savages
I'm
sort of
laying
thing.
on the bed.
Civilization, away from these dangerous animals.
But I want to stay here, Uncle, so I can help the
With my
animals
Doritos
find
pillow.
supplies, too.
Kimba spends a
Darn,
lot of
I don't...
time
I can't use it as a
fighting
pillow,
animals
because if
around
I
him to
do,
become civilized.
then,
The future, Kimba. Turn the
you guys won't be able to see that they're hot habanero.
As our father tried to do. It isn't easy,
Oops.
but I know you'll keep trying.
They build a school and a hospital and a post office and a restaurant. They even built a fucking amusement park.
This is a wonderful idea, Kimba. Wonderful. It shows what could be done when we work together.
Wow.
For the most part, it's just Kimba and the animals, I guess, but there are other parts of the show where the message they're trying to send gets a lot more transparent.
Africa is changing. The continent is coming of age. The people must say goodbye to devil's masks and voodoo drums. That was
Ooh, no, 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 Kimba, bad.
Now a new
This is actually probably a good series to watch in hindsight of like the whole Black Lives Matters thing, because it really does kind of show how like global this depiction of black people kind of is, because Osamu Tezuka was getting this like secondhand from Disney and American stuff. Like the stuff we consider racist depictions are racist because he liked watching American stuff. That's crazy, isn't it?
Gonna learn to talk like the humans talk. Gonna learn to walk like the humans walk. Never gonna stop till we get that far. They will be smart too, just like the humans are.
Another hugely consistent Kimba theme would be environmentalism.
That tune though,
This
man,
theme is consistent
it's a
across
real
every
jam.
version of
Gotta
Kimba.
say.
A gigantic chunk of the show deals with humans as part of the central conflict. You got poachers and mad
Where are my
scientists trying to
legs?
play God and people trying to build dams and stuff. Throughout the show, Kimba makes sure that everyone is
My
eating
legs are
vegetarian
in the
so
shop.
that
They're
don't
being
have
worked
to eat
on.
each other.
You want us all to be vegetarians?
That's right.
Basically, he has this philosophy where every living creature in the jungle should be getting along and nobody
So if
should
they're
be fighting
vegetarian,
each
that
other
means they
even
still
for
eat
food.
eggs, right? So is that like not a problem for some of the birds?
このパンジャの森は争い事をしないのが掟なんだ。このパンジャの森では他の動物を傷つけてはいけない決まりがあるんだ。
And this is a pretty consistent theme throughout the entire series that is in direct conflict with one of the biggest themes from The Lion King.
Dad, don't we eat the antelope?
Yes, Simba, but let me explain. When we die, our bodies become the grass, and the antelope eat the grass.
Shh, 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 shh. No. Kimba the White Lion is exactly like Lion King. It's exactly the same. Stop.
Is such a major theme in The Lion King that it is literally the opening theme song of the film. These are completely opposing ideas about life and purpose and conflict. And this theme is not just non-existent in Kimba, it is contradictory. In The Lion King, they basically had racial segregation where the land was separated between species.
You can't do anything to me.
And yet one of the common arguments from the Kimba crowd
I'm doing
is that
pretty
Kimba
good.
being vegetarian
There's a
somehow
heat wave
equates
warning
to
out
Simba
today
when he
from the
started
Weather
eating
Network,
bugs.
so I'm
First of
staying
all,
indoors,
eating
staying
insects
cool.
is not vegetarian. And second, Simba
I'm
did this
drinking
because he
coffee,
moved
which
to
I
a new
shouldn't be
area, and
probably,
this is
but
what
I
his
have
friends were eating.
a fan
There
and
was no
stuff keeping me
moral
cool, so I'm
opposition to
alright.
eating meat. He was doing it to fit in with his peers who saved him.
I'm so hungry I could eat a whole zebra.
We're fresh out of zebra.
Any antelope?
Nope.
Hippo?
Nope.
And even if there was antelope in this new area, what, did you expect a lion cub would be able to hunt one on his own?
Hey,
There's an
Andy.
episode where Kimba's human friend
Thank you for
Roger
joining
lives
us.
with them. His uncle shows up and he warns them that the elephants are
Oh
about to
yeah,
be
something I've been
exterminated because
realizing
people are fed up
I
with
should
the
do on
elephants
here
and
is
slaughtered.
Have they changed the
we
rules?
should do a raid at the end of my stream. So tell me someone you guys want me to raid at the end of my stream.
So he shows up to warn the elephants, but they just bully him a bunch because all of the elephants in this show are just massive dicks for no reason. Except this one baby elephant, I guess, who's just absolutely terrifying.
Oh my god, no! Make it stop!
Bye. Bye. Thanks a lot.
Oh right, this was filler because I actually have
Andy
underscore Puffin.
like Packer.
So Kimba spies on
You
the
can
park
rate
commission.
Shadow Legends.
yeah, so I actually have some stuff we can go through watching here. I'm just gonna step away for a second because I'm gonna make another coffee. I can still hear you. I'm not near my mic for a little bit, so don't worry, I'm not gone.
I'm Indy Nidell, and this is another exciting edition of Out of the Foxholes, where I sit here
Well,
in
I
my
wanted
chair
to
of
start
infinite
streaming a
knowledge
little
and answer
Doom
your
Lost
questions about the Second World War. Let's see. Justin Wilson asks, were there any discrimination towards people from Axis countries in neutral America other than Japan? In 1940, the U.S. holds its nationwide census, which finds approximately 1.2 million German nationals living in the country, as well as 11 million Americans of German descent. Now, the census itself isn't anything that special. The U.S. has one every decade. But also that year, President Franklin Roosevelt signs the Smith Act. This stipulates that all aliens over the age of 14 must register with the federal government, carry registration cards, and be fingerprinted. That same act also sets criminal penalties for anyone advocating the overthrow of the U.S. government by force or violence. So, at a time when America is increasingly leaning towards the Allies, it looks like its government is making sure there are no German or Italian fifth columnists hiding away somewhere. In fact, already in 1939, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover created the Custodial Detention Index to identify and categorize potentially subversive elements. By mid-1941, that index includes tens of thousands of Italians, Germans, fascists, and communists, some marked for immediate arrest upon an outbreak of war. There is no congressional or judicial oversight here. And it is pretty easy to get yourself put on the list. All whom Hoover deems communist or fascist go on the list. Any group or organization with some focus on German or Italian heritage goes on the list. Some influential Italian Americans, some influential German Americans are thrown into the mix as well, just to be on the safe side. Now, is it a good idea for Roosevelt and Hoover to keep a watchful eye on Germans or Italians in America? There is support for European dictatorships. Like the openly pro-Nazi German-American Bund has 25,000 paying members. And there are similar pro-fascist organizations raising support for Benito Mussolini. But the huge majority of German Americans wants nothing to do with the Nazis or with their politics. Over 100,000 of them had fled to the States in the 1930s, including Albert Einstein, Thomas Mann, and Henry Kissinger. On top of federal mistrust, though, German Americans can face harsh treatment from the general population, with private companies sometimes refusing to hire people with German or Italian ancestry. Roosevelt thinks this is pretty stupid, however. In June 1941, he signs Executive Order 8802, which bans discrimination in the employment of workers in defense industries or government because of race, creed, color, or national origin. It is the first federal action to prohibit workplace discrimination and promote equal opportunity. Okay, let's see. Frederick Silvestre asks, were there any countries in South Africa that were pro-German or pro-Axis? If you mean South Africa as in the Union of South Africa, then this is just one country. It's a self-governing dominion of the British Empire, and it declares war on Germany on September 6, 1939. But though it is one country, the communities within it are notoriously split and divided.
Yeah.
It is under white minority rule.
The whole argument like, oh yeah, World War II is fighting against racism. South Africa was on the side of the Allies, need I remind you. They were not exactly known for their recipients of kindness to black people.
The Dutch colony around the Cape of Good Hope. But in the 19th century, most of them moved into the interior of southern Africa to escape the British, who took over the area. Over time, these settlers have developed a national identity as Afrikaners or Boers, and during their migration established several Boer republics, displacing large numbers of black Africans in the process. But if you know anything about history, you'll know that escaping the British is never really a long-term option. Towards the end of the 19th century, the British looked to
Bloody hell, do we not own that piece of land yet? Shropshire, get on it.
From 1899 to 1902. The German Empire supports the Boers during this war, but the British Empire win and annex the Boer republics. 8 years later, the Union of South Africa is formed, which includes the territory annexed after the Boer Wars. In the 1930s, white South African politics is roughly divided between anti-British Afrikaners and pro-British South Africans. When war breaks out in 1939, Prime Minister Barry Hertzog is very much pro-neutrality. The pro-British Jan Smuts leads the opposition against Hertzog and his neutrality, and he narrowly wins a motion on the war, ousts Hertzog for the position of Prime Minister, and declares war on Germany. Smuts still treads carefully, avoiding imposing war measures like conscription in case of a backlash or even an uprising. Even so, there is a lot of opposition. The pro-German Ossewa Brandwag was launched several months before the war broke out in the interests of preserving Afrikaner culture and opposing conflict with Germany. It is debatable how committed they are to fascism on an ideological level, but they're undoubtedly sympathetic to Nazi Germany. It counts almost 400,000 members at its peak in 1941,
Woof.
and some of its members form paramilitary groups that...
Gee, I wonder if that had any repercussions in the long-term history of South Africa.
About 2,000 members, including future Prime Minister John Vorster, but still the acts continue. But that's only the active resistance. Barry Hertzog still keeps up his anti-war sentiment, forming the Verenigde Nationale Party to champion its cause. Not all members are necessarily or actively pro-German, but some are. There is a group inside the party called the New Order, formed by Oswald Pirro, former Minister of Justice and Minister of Defense. It openly embraces Nazi ideology.
Oof.
And in case you were wondering about the black majority in South Africa, most of them care little for the war, seeing it as a white
I don't
man's
get
war.
where this tangent, where
White
this
South
thread of
Africans
people come
agree,
up that like
barring
think,
blacks from military service and only allowing a few
and they
serve
double
very
down on
highly
this
supported
idea
roles.
that like,
So in short,
you know, there's
yes,
just
there are
something
South
about the
African
Nazis
factions
people
here in
don't
1941
understand. They
who are
weren't
much more
really,
driven and
you know, an evil
Axis.
ideology. It's like, no, they were
Butrawal.
very
I
horrible.
know I'm mangling that name, and I'm sorry, but it's a cool name. Let's see. Asks, what did Germany
Polycorn
do to the
Butrawal.
Maginot Line after France fell? As you will know, if you've been watching this series, the Maginot Line is a defensive system in northern and eastern France, stretching from the Channel to the Mediterranean. It was built in the 1930s to hold off a German attack long enough for the French army to fully mobilize, and it is especially strong in the regions of Alsace and Lorraine. However, panzers broke through the line near Sedan in May 1940 during the invasion of France, leading to the encirclement of the Allied armies in the north and eventual French defeat. If this is all new to you, then watch our weekly episodes from May and June 1940, as well as the on-location special we did about the Maginot Line. Link in the description. In most places, the line does the job it's supposed to. In Alsace and Lorraine, it mostly holds off the German advance even when Paris falls and all hope of French victory is lost. But signing of an armistice, June 22nd, 1940, orders all French personnel on the line to surrender. The Germans take 2 million French prisoners of war, many of them from the line. What do they do with the fortresses? Well, German high command cannot deny their effectiveness, so when Alsace-Lorraine is annexed to Nazi Germany, they decide to use it for their own benefit. They start rebuilding damaged fortresses and restoring bunkers smashed during the Battle of France. But they don't really improve or alter things much. As the Allied bombing campaign of Germany gets going, the line becomes especially useful as a string of bomb-proof underground factories. They also draw up an order of battle for
Bomb-proof
how the Maginot
underground
Line is
factories.
to be defended. In 1941,
I want to hear the German word for that.
Propaganda purposes, filming a documentary on the French campaign. Of course, with the defeat of France, it doesn't seem like the line will come in handy at any point. So heavy equipment and the guns are transferred west to the coastal Atlantic Wall.
You know, it's kind of funny because for all the things people attribute the Nazis for being like, oh, they were so advanced, so ahead and stuff, the one thing people always seem to really overlook, like, usually it's inflated, like people say their tanks are great, their planes are great, and they were all right, but they were definitely beaten by other stuff, in my opinion. But one thing no one beat the Germans at throughout all of World War II, that was probably their most effective weapon, was their theater. And the Nazis were masters of film to a frightening degree. It almost becomes a point where it's like you can forget some of their movies are Nazi propaganda because they're just so well made and visually stunning.
I think the French
This video was made possible by CuriosityStream. When you sign up for any subscription at curiositystream.com/HAI, you'll also get access to Nebula, the streaming service that HAI is a part of.
Well, the French kind of dropped out of World War II early on because they were split up into Vichy and Free France, so it was kind of hard for them to produce videos.
Slam some bills down on the counter and demand a shiny new vanity plate with
German theaters? Oh man, German theaters were a huge thing during World War II because that was how, you know, they kept people relaxed and calm and got people on board with the subtle messages of you know, Jews being evil. Like, imagine, you know how people can kind of fake stuff on Twitter today to make you outraged at stuff? That's what the Nazis were doing back in the day with movie theaters and filming these quote-unquote documentaries showing Jews committing atrocities against Germans. And because, you know, this was long before we developed a sense of, like, how to filter media and discern propaganda. You know, in terms of film and stuff, a lot of people bought it because they're like, well, no one would just film something and make it up if they're talking about real life. They, you know, this is why would they waste time doing that?
Researcher Joseph Tartaro decided to get a dorky pair of matching license plates for him and his wife. Null for him and void for the missus. You know, like that legal doublet meaning having no binding power or validity. Cute, right?
Now, as
Oh, does it
romantic
mess up
as
something in
one of
computer
Watche's
systems?
secondary
I bet it does.
he thought that these cute matching
Never
license
mind.
plates could,
Guess I
theoretically,
won't stream
confuse
anymore.
Oh, what
citation
happened,
systems and
Andy?
enable him and his wife
You're not
to
gonna
live out a
stream?
life
Is it?
of
It's
petty
not because of me, is it?
completely undetected. I mean, what's the last time your pathetic box of chocolates did that? You see, null is a common marker used in all sorts of different computer databases to indicate missing or ineligible information. Totaro figured that this also applied to whatever database dealt with California license plate numbers, and unfortunately for him, he was 100% right. Or like 95%
Andy
right.
underscore
Since the only part he
Kufin.
got wrong is what would
Not
happen to
it's.
him if he was right.
It ain't you, don't
Instead
worry.
of cruising
Oh,
through the
okay.
police's radar,
So I thought you were
broadcast
trying to get.
and running down pedestrians
There's a
with
thing
license
called
slap on the wrist, Totaro
viewer.
started racking up tickets
Sorry.
but not for violations he had committed. In fact, he hadn't committed nearly any violations since he'd registered the plate, and he definitely hadn't committed violations in every single Californian city with dozens of different
Sorry.
before his plate even existed.
What was I gonna say? Oh well. I'll be right back. I just gotta put something in the oven.
Who knows? The simplest explanation, however, is that every time a lazy California cop forgot to plug in a license plate number for a ticket,
the guy that was
system
going
would
to
file
stream
that
Stalker?
under null, which just so happened to be Totaro's plate. All told, he racked up $12,049 of fines before he finally managed to put an end to this bureaucratic nightmare, which also makes this the most expensive romantic gesture since that jewel-encrusted toilet seat that Ben Affleck bought J-Lo in 2002. Now, Joseph Totaro knew he was playing with fire when he got his plate changed, but you know who doesn't know anything about the consequences of exploiting structured query language vulnerabilities? Babies.
Andy underscore
Specifically
Kufin.
babies who were born and given
No,
the
I wanted to
unfortunate
stream the
surname
newest build
null
of Project
before
Brutality.
these databases even existed. Across the globe, there are tens of thousands of people whose last name is null, and much like Joseph Totaro's license plate, they run the risk of breaking nearly every modern database that they come into contact with. Websites
Then
that
what's
use
the
registration
problem?
forms like bank sites, digital stores, streaming platforms, pizza delivery services, illegal online poker rings, conspiracy blogs, fanfiction blogs, smutty fanfiction blogs, well, pretty much any website really, usually look at the name null and think, huh, this person doesn't have a name, this is clearly not
Andy
a real member of a
Kufin.
civilized society, under no
My
circumstances
family.
can we allow them to join our illegal online poker ring. As a result, the nulls of the world
Leno
often
Lau.
face crashing websites,
Same.
unusual errors, or simple declarations that they just don't exist. As far as the internet is concerned, they're ghosts, and the results can range from annoying to downright spooky. Christopher Null, the proprietor of Null Media
Andy
LLC,
underscore
for example,
Kufin.
often receives mail
I keep
addressed to
getting
Mr.
interrupted.
at Media LLC.
And you know.
Coincidentally, also the name of Wendover Productions' new money laundering division. Now, while there aren't any simple solutions to these fussy databases and this word that sends them into a spiral of virulent denial worse than my anti-vax neighbors, data analysts have invented some creative workarounds over the years. Take, for example, this place, Null Island. Well, actually, this stock footage isn't Null Island at all because it's a completely imaginary place marked by this sad little buoy. Located at 00, where the equator meets the prime meridian, Null Island was added to certain maps by GIS analysts to detect geocoding errors caused by, you guessed it, the word null. Basically, anytime a computer or smartphone can't determine the geographic coordinates of a given location, like when you take a photo with geotagging turned off, it will output the location as null. Certain thick-headed mapping programs can, however, confuse that for 00, a real set of coordinates, and decide to plop you down right on Null Island, which should tell these analysts that unless you swim out to the buoy in the middle of the Gulf of Guinea, these 4 dastardly letters had struck again. Speaking of islands, those weirdos over at Wendover Productions have released another Nebula original documentary about an island. It's called The Final Days of Majuro. Those weirdos at Half as Interesting are also releasing a Nebula original next month, which means the moral of the story is that you should probably get on Nebula. Luckily, you can do so with the best deal in streaming. For just $20 a year, about the cost of a bag of pizza rolls, I'm not really sure, you get access to CuriosityStream, home to thousands of fantastic feature-length documentaries, and Nebula, home to all the special, exclusive projects of your favorite creators, plus ad-free versions of all HAI and Wendover videos. That's a crazy good deal, and it's available only by signing up at curiositystream.com/HAI.
Oh boy, here comes the ad read.
The COVID-19 pandemic is turning out to be an unprecedented event in modern human history. While we've gone through our share of ancient plagues, this is the first time it's happening to such a large human population. Humans are in vastly more abundance now than we've ever been, making it easier for the virus to mutate and evolve as it now has access to more subjects than any other virus in history. Worryingly, it's a virus that knows what it's doing too. While we won't even bother with the numbers, as they keep updating by the hour at this point, we can tell you that it has brought the world to a standstill. Some of the world's biggest countries are struggling to contain the disaster, and it's anyone's best guess how we'll get things back to normal once all this is over. What we can say for sure, though, is that the COVID-19 pandemic could end up permanently changing the world in many ways, much like most of the other major pandemics in history. Number 7. No traffic anymore.
Okay.
Many aspects of our everyday lives have been completely transformed since the pandemic took its worst form, though the most drastic change has been in how we move around. People around the world are changing their traffic habits for the first time since the automobile revolution, and in more complicated ways than you'd guess. The surprising part is that not all of it is due to lockdown restrictions. Traffic has gone down in nearly every major city in the world, regardless of
Yeah, I'm making a chicken in the oven.
in many American cities with relatively fewer restrictions, rush
Just
hour
with
is
some
the
salt,
best and
pepper,
most pleasant time
potatoes,
around. While most of it could be chalked up
and
to
what's
not
that
having
stuff?
anything
A
to
Korean
do
red
with
pepper, and then I'm gonna
where to
finish
go in the
it
pandemic, some of it has also to do with the
at the
larger
end with like some
realization by
teriyaki
masses
sauce.
that cars aren't really as necessary and as awesome as auto companies always make them out to be. If a global pandemic can force us to change our driving patterns and lower traffic pollution in some of the most congested cities in the world to an absolute minimum, maybe we should continue doing that after it's over as well. Number 6. It's speeding up the adoption of driverless technology. Driverless technology is a definite part of any future that we imagine. It's impossible to dream of conquering the stars if we still have to manually drive our cars to go to work. It's a foregone conclusion that at some point in the future, automated cars are going to rule the road. There are, however, still many genuine concerns surrounding the technology. The primary one is that we still don't know if fully automated vehicles are safe. There have been quite a few injuries, as well as one death caused by automated vehicles, proving that the tech is still in its infancy. That's the reason many countries around the world have checks and regulations against the manufacturing of truly autonomous.
It's like, can anything really truly be automatic if people use it? Because at some point you need to have a user override. There's almost no system you can have where you don't, where even if it's automated, you know,
Many companies in China have already started using completely automated vehicles for deliveries, and it's expected that countries like the USA could soon follow suit. While it would definitely speed up the adoption of a technology that would end up helping a lot of people, it's
you know what would be funny is if they had an automated bookmobile. So it's like using driverless car technology to drive books to people.
The end of globalization. The second half of the 20th century was nothing short of a golden age of human cooperation as the world got more connected than ever before. For the first time in our history, trade and diplomacy have been much more profitable for rulers
is your
than
fridge
looting
running?
and plunder. Almost every country is now a connected part.
Yes, my fridge is running fine.
Of a flourishing global market. Or at least it was until the pandemic hit and undid almost all of that. Where the second half of the 20th century would be known for its massive globalization drive, the post-COVID-19 world could prove to be its complete reversal. It's not in the future either. We're already seeing the slow decimation of the global oil industry, as we'll discuss in a bit, which is one of the biggest pillars of this global interconnected market. Another one is the airline industry, which has been going through stock market crashes and divestment from major investors since the beginning of the pandemic. Moreover, the lockdowns and general panic due to the virus have forced us to subconsciously think of the world in small, protected spaces instead of the global playgrounds that we grew up to see it as. Even if everything else goes back to normal, that's going to be slow and hard to change. Number 4, wild animals are having the time of their
Yay!
lives. With the entire world on lockdown, self-imposed or otherwise, there has been
I don't care what happens to the world, like, if animals are having a good time, then I'm like, oh, okay, I feel a little better now.
It's a change that hasn't gone unnoticed by the animal world, as wild animals are showing up in a variety of places now devoid of human activity.
Shut IT
Take the
down.
large Kashmiri goats that were found nonchalantly roaming around on the empty roads of Wales, or the coyotes in San Francisco, or the sounds of birds singing in cities that are otherwise loud and densely populated. Animals that usually keep their distance from human settlements are now emboldened by our sudden departure from public places, which may just end up solving the problem of dwindling natural whale habitats worldwide. Number 3, reduced hospital visits for other diseases. The COVID-19 pandemic has proved to be a challenge for some of the best healthcare systems in the world. Most of the countries adversely affected by it are developed, technologically advanced nations, proving once and for all.
Then you better catch IT. Why is my computer broken?
That our immune systems have never seen before. Among all this, something else is happening. While hospitals and healthcare workers are stretched thin tending to coronavirus cases, visits for other emergencies have drastically dropped to the extent that it couldn't be explained by people just avoiding getting checked up. It's almost as if most of the other diseases, including the influenza virus, which is usually a major problem in many countries, have disappeared as soon as the coronavirus struck. Of course, you'd be wary of visiting a hospital for a minor cough in the middle of a global pandemic, but visits are down for almost all diseases.
I'm laying down on the bed.
Board, including major ones.
Does it look like I'm dead?
I'm not really sure why. Number 2, no more oil. The price of oil has been on a consistent slide ever since the pandemic started. The countries most affected by it also happen to be some of the most industrialized and developed nations in the world that usually require a lot of oil to sustain their massive economies. Without any economic activity at all, the demand for oil is only set to decrease even further. If it hasn't already, that is, as oil prices have already touched negative levels in the past few weeks. They've rebounded.
You look dead from the inside.
Yes, negative. That means oil producers were paying other people to take oil off their hands due to limited storage. In such an unprecedented turn of events, it's safe to say that this could be the end of oil-based economies. The pandemic comes on the heels of massive climate change movements around the world, with many countries already looking at ways to reduce their reliance on oil. It would only end up catalyzing the...
Oh yeah, did you guys hear what happened today on the Fanta... the great Fanta leader's Twitter page? He accused that guy, the 75-year-old guy, who's a activist with like Catholic church organizations. He's accusing him of being Antifa.
Every major pandemic in history has been followed by a long period of economic distress immediately after it, especially in the affected regions. Whether it's the Black Plague, or
it's such a new low that, you know, they he can just go and say this. Yeah, the 75-year-old guy who got pushed back by the police, had his head cracked open on the skull. I did, Fanta, the great Fanta leader of America.
Any financial crisis ever, and that includes the Great Depression of the 1930s. While it may sound like counting money when people are dying, that inaccurately assumes that economic problems don't kill people. Just take the last financial crisis in...
Oh wait, I can say Nazi. Yeah, I won't get banned for that. We just watched a history video about it, so yeah, we're fine. Yeah, the Fanta Nazi.
And that's just the first world. The most acute effects of modern financial crashes are concentrated in the poorer parts of the world, where economic prosperity is directly tied to political and social stability.
Yeah, he likes cute nicknames, so that's mine for him. He's the Fanta Nazi.
And general unrest in many third world countries, especially in the Middle East, some of which have now turned into global conflicts. So I'm not going to ask whether you enjoyed that video, but I do hope you found it interesting.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that depressing take on everything going wrong. That's interesting perspective.
Thank you for watching.
I'm an optimist, though. Like, I could argue a lot of the points he just made are
hello folks, welcome back to
maybe too pessimistic.
Mega Projects. This one is all about the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. If you don't remember what that is, do you remember a few years ago when everyone thought that there was a particle accelerator that was going to make a black hole? It was this. Those people...
black hole!
Those 5G towers around the world because they are idiots. Anyway, let's get into it. Smash that dislike button. Buried deep below the French-Swiss border lies one of the largest, most powerful, and most expensive scientific instruments ever built that, somewhat ironically, studies the smallest known building blocks of our world. The Large Hadron Collider, LHC, is unquestionably in the upper echelon of scientific discovery. A project so big in terms
well, because there's, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but you know the orange, like the orange flavored drink, Fanta, Coca-Cola makes it, and they first created it
may not fully
Here is the
understand
thing.
its significance for
We
many
had a
years to come.
pandemic,
I'm going to go into a
financial
lot more
crisis,
detail later in this
war,
video about different aspects
Spanish
of
flu,
the LHC,
Great Depression,
but I
World
wanted to
War II.
start with a very brief
Now
overview.
we had a
The
pandemic.
LHC is
The
attempting to
economic
collide
crisis will
two
come.
beams of hydrogen
And then,
protons traveling at 99.9%
Well,
of the speed
it depends on how you want to frame economic crisis, because the thing is, everybody's kind of going to be suffering the same thing. So, since everything is shrinking equally, we're going to have to find solutions together to try and stopgap things that, you know, we may not have as much of anymore. So, there'll be a shrinkage, but crisis is a matter of how we manage it, you know? As for the pandemic, as much as it might not seem like it, we have it under control. It's going to rage through some countries, unfortunately, that have bad policies, but it's not going to end the human race as we know it. It's not going to cause such a high death toll that we're going to see major setbacks. But it is a really serious disease we need to address and take seriously. It's just not... Yeah, it's...
was known as the intersecting storage rings. And as you can see, they have managed to improve their name since then. This was the world's...
Oh, well, there's such... I mean, when you have, what is it, like 1 billion Catholics in the world or something like that? Or is it 1 billion Christians? I forget. But, you know, there's a lot of people that believe in God, and even within the same sect of Christianity, you know, Catholic, Anglican, all that, you're going to find people with different opinions. Like, really, everybody has a slightly different interpretation of the Bible and God, even if they all read the exact same interpretation and follow the exact same rules. They're still going to have the odd little, oh, I thought it was like this. No, I think it's more like this. Oh, yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
The world record for a proton collision was 0.98 TeV, tera electron volts per beam. That's just below...
So that's why, to me, it's just strange to hold people to, like, oh, you got to follow my religion exactly, because... We all have little differences, but we all are kind of on the same page of like, okay, don't kill people, don't steal, don't poison food, don't poison waterways. I don't know, I'm a big optimist, so I think if you take off a lot of the, what do you call it?
They think that the virus will kill a quarter of the world. That's about 2 billion people, which means that the apocalypse is starting, and after the shortage, guess what comes?
The 40 days of the 40 days of rain, 40 days nights of rain. So you guys are gonna have to join me on my arc, and we'll get one trap of every type on our arc. To which years later they'll make a monument to it in America.
Continuing until 2018, and the LHC was...
I'm trying to remember if that arc thing went bankrupt or not. You guys, you know what I'm talking about, the arc experience?
To be back online in 2021. At this point, you might be wondering just how powerful these collisions are, because tera electron volts doesn't, or even 1 million volts, it doesn't really mean much.
Extreme sexual
honestly,
impact.
It's really difficult for the human brain to understand, because 1 TeV is just greater than any force on Earth, with the exception of the LHC, let alone 6.5 TeV. We're talking about energy that perhaps only occurs in space, but even then we're not really sure. Alright, so that was a lot of information, so let's take a bit of a closer look.
That's crazy to imagine that we might have actually created a machine that creates hypothetical things that we're not even sure can exist in space. Some Twilight Zone stuff. I love this stuff though. I love
proton race track around and around
a microchip which you have to implant.
Follow the track.
If you do not, you will not be able to buy stuff. Go to school.
Inside each pipe,
so it will be the Third Reich
are
again.
beams that are traveling each beam is traveling in the opposite direction.
I love when people say, it will be the Third Reich again. So wait, you mean the Fourth Reich? No, it's the Third Reich, but the second time. That 4 comes after 3, numbnuts, okay? You can't have the Third Reich again. If it's a Third Reich again, it's number 4. You have to go in sequence. No, the Third Reich is coming again. Shut up. I'm doing this my way. I'm the Nazi here. I get to make the calls, okay? I didn't... Mom, they're making fun of me!
At their fastest, they are moving at 299.8 million meters per second, and they are traveling around their underground racetrack doing 11,245 laps.
But yeah, I love
single second. The difficulties of
I love transhumanism stuff, like things that are like us expanding beyond, redefining in some ways what it means to be human, or being very skeptical of the idea of human quote-unquote souls.
They did not even know about electricity in the Bible.
Oh, well, the Bible is not a religious text, and that's easy to break down very quickly. Now, believing in the Bible and your faith in its interpretation, that's part of the faith. But the actual Bible itself is not accurate, and we know that, and we can prove that. And even the Vatican supports this, because the Vatican funds scholastic research to find the oldest copies of the Bible they can and translate them and make sure those copies are genuine, because in this funny sort of contradiction of what people expect, the Vatican actually takes that part of history very, very, very seriously, and they're very open about it. Because they want to be able to prove and legitimize their claim that they have the oldest copies of the Bible, so they have to play by certain rules in academia to validate that. Otherwise, it's just a ridiculous claim, and it invalidates the whole thing they're trying to do there, which is to, address, oh, people are doubting this Bible, we need to make sure we actually have, a reference that is a reference we can consider credible, not just something full of translation errors that, is just older and we think, oh, this is right. So the Bible has been modified, for years into different things depending on what it needed to be, but the fundamentals have stayed with it throughout the years, that humanitarianism, that and there's a whole interesting thing to dissect there of how the Bible is, it's kind of us writing about ourselves in a lot of ways.
50 feet in length and are used to bend the beams. There are also 392 quadrupole magnets, each 5 to 7 meters, 16 to 22 feet long, which are designed to focus the beams. As the beams
but I never at any point want to imply, if that's your faith, if that's what you believe in, that's wrong or immoral or bad. People believe whatever they want, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody and it's not, calling for violence against anyone. So, I'm just giving my interpretation of it from my perspective. And that's what everyone does. They just justify their perspective of why their Bible is more accurate.
The brain just can't comprehend just how hot that is. Just to give you a
it's interesting how we're talking about, like, the Large Hadron Collider, things that break the very boundaries of physics and reality, and at the same time I'm talking about the Bible, something that's like on the polar end of the spectrum. And I'm not even religious, I'm not Christian or anything. I mean, I guess maybe I am, because I know a lot about it, so it's not like I can deny... I sort of know where I'm coming from.
Well, the dizzyingly fast,
but I don't go to church or anything.
Of the LHC. It also comes with 7 detectors trying to record data from up to 1 billion collisions per second.
Closest thing I do to church is probably coming here to this stream. You guys are my religion. I worship you.
A 3D model of what happens when the protons collided. As you can imagine, this is a vast amount of information, but a computer program whittles it down to about 100 of what it considers to be the most significant. This means we are actually only recording about 0.004% of the collisions that have occurred. The information is then stored and backed up before being sent around the world to various collaborators who are helping to sift through the deluge of data. The amount of information per year equates to around 1.2 million Blu-ray discs, or 250 years worth of video if you want to be a bit old school. This is around 30 petabytes, and if you're new to petabytes, that's about 30 million gigabytes. Principally, physicists are looking for rare events within these models. They're examining what direction particles move after the collision, which way they bend, and how they act. And most interestingly, which particles emerge from the collision. Two of the detectors are general-purpose colliders, ATLAS and Compact Mond Solenoid, CMS, while the remaining, ALICE, LHCb, Totem, Modial, and LHCf have specific purposes, and don't worry, we're not going to go into all of them, we're just going to focus on two. First up, ATLAS. In July 2012, one of the most important discoveries in recent times came about from findings from the ATLAS detector. The discovery of the Higgs boson particle, the final jigsaw piece in a 50-year-old theory called the Standard Model of Physics, remains the grandest achievement of the entire LHC project. But the amount of human input and engineering prowess is simply mind-boggling. So let's start with its size. The ATLAS detector is 46 meters long and 25 meters in diameter. It weighs a pretty hefty 7,000 tons and contains about 3,000 kilometers of cables. But what is truly astonishing is the number of people who have participated in this experiment.
So
and remember, I'm not
the
talking about the whole
started
LHC.
because some companies
This
started
is just
making
the ATLAS
microchips
detector.
with which you control
Approximately
special
3,000
devices.
physicists taken from
Also in
183
Spain there is a club where you can have such
38
a
countries
microchip to gain
played a
access
role
to the
either in the
VIP
development
lounge at a
or
very
in the ongoing
expensive
study
club.
using information
The
from
problem
ATLAS.
is,
So what are they
none of
looking
there
for?
are
Well,
implanted where
essentially,
they say.
signs of new physics, which is a term used for fundamental developments that occurred in physics in the second half of the 20th century and continue to this day. The origins of mass and the possibilities of extra dimensions are just two examples of new physics being studied at the LHC. It's not searching for anything in particular, but it's always on the lookout for something new. The Higgs boson was merely a theory until 2012 when the ATLAS was able to detect it. It's so cutting edge that we literally don't know what it's going to find. The second detector that we'll take a closer look at is the ALICE experiment, which recorded the first proton collision in the LHC in November 2009. The ALICE is all about exploring quark-gluon plasma. That's the term for a fifth state of matter which occurs when quarks and gluons are freed. This is thought to have happened in the brief seconds after the Big Bang. By studying the fluid form, scientists hope to be able to discover just how matter is organized. Again, this detector is not small. It weighs 10,000 tons, that makes it the heaviest detector at the LHC, and it's 26 meters, 85 feet long, 16 meters, 52 feet high, and 16 meters wide. The project is also supported by some 1,800 physicists, engineers, and technicians from 176 institutes scattered across 41 countries. So what has been discovered? With such an extraordinary set of machines, it can be easy to get carried away and expect discoveries that are going to change our lives.
And none have the use of letting you buy stuff for now, and they are hella expensive and only an experimental convenience tool.
Still a really long way to go.
However,
the
they
discovery of
dismiss
the
that
Higgs
and only
boson
see that there
particle
is a
has been
microchip.
by far the most famous discovery, but it's by no means the only one. On March the 24th, 2011, the LHC created quark-gluon plasma, thought to be the densest matter in our universe outside of black holes.
I really wonder
On the
if you are
22nd
okay
of
in the
December
head.
2011, a new composite particle was observed for the first time, the 3p botonomium state. In July 2012, two teams from two separate detectors cautiously reported the findings that pointed towards a completely new particle. The world braced itself for the announcement of the Higgs boson, but it wasn't until March 2013 that the formal announcement was made. On November the 19th, 2014, the LHCb experiment found two new heavy subatomic particles, both baryons. As I've mentioned, the LHC is currently not in operation. Particle physics experiments typically suffer from diminishing returns. This is simply because the device gets to the point where it has achieved what it can with current specifications. That doesn't mean things are finished, but it does mean that an upgrade is needed. Several aspects can be improved with the LHC. The energy of the collision is most obvious, but considering the magnets involved are working at capacity, this would be a massive upgrade. The planned high luminosity upgrade is the next step of this already futuristic experiment. This has nothing to do with the energy of the collision, but rather how much we can see by raising the chances of a collision. This is done by altering the size of the beam and the spacing between each. It's hoped that with this upgrade, luminosity could be increased by a factor of 10, significantly raising the chances of seeing rare processes. There are few, if any, projects underway around the world with the same kind of scope as the Large Hadron Collider. This is a mega project that has the power to influence not only things on Earth, but also our understanding of the universe. In today's world, we've become obsessed with speed and size, but this has meant we've often overlooked the tiniest building blocks that form not just us, but everything that surrounds us. The LHC is the long game. Much of what has been discovered has absolutely no impact for humans on a day-to-day basis. The discovery of a new particle is not particularly exciting for most people, but only by taking a step back and looking at the broader spectrum of scientific discovery can we ever really hope to understand the importance of the LHC. It's perfectly conceivable that most of the significant findings won't even have a major impact in our lifetime. It could take us 50, 100, or even 200 years to fully understand and use what is being found underground near Geneva. We are not colliding protons for our own benefit, but rather with the hope that these small discoveries that we might not fully understand now may help future generations with their own extraordinary discoveries. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up below. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, as always, if you've got a suggestion for mega projects, you know what to do. Leave it in the comments below. Upvote the ones you like, because that's where I find a lot of ideas for these videos. So if you did that, it would be great. Also, while you're down there, smash that like button, and I'll see you next time.
Andy_Cookfin. Our pain and suffering never gets old. Andy_Cookfin. Thought. Lenolau. Andy, stop wearing that tinfoil hat, amigo. We're on Kyonko's stream. He can read our minds even with that thing. Andy_Kufin. I ain't wearing no hat. I myself believe all that mumbo jumbo is ass. Andy_Kufin. Like that stuff is as real as my chances to get a girlfriend. Lenolau. Does Kyonko eat ass though? We should ask him. Andy_Kufin. Kyonko, are you a degenerate? JK.
Last one to Mike's is a Martian mudsucker!
Hey, Tutti! What happened to your new tech?
Hold on to your grickies, cause...
Tutti's coming through! He can't do that to us!
I'm finally winning! Not now.
Lenolau. Kyonko, are you a filthy degenerate? Haha joke. Unless. Andy_Kufin. Oh god, what the fuck are we watching? Oh god, it's so ugly, what the fuck is that?
Coming up next, Mysteries of the Egyptian Desert, followed by...
Stunt Muldoon Alien
Hunter!
You know, I think I'm becoming addicted to Muldoon's show.
Some pretty funky stuff going on there.
Front door!
Hey, Mike! Let us in!
He can't! His parents are gone!
Yeah, and you'll trash the house. Remember last time?
Oh, now we'll behave. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, why?
Well, then so can your door. Open sesame.
You gave them the password, didn't you?
Andy_Kufin.
I didn't give them anything. It cost them $5.
The humans are worse.
You guys shouldn't take advantage like this.
Bebop, does that look familiar?
Putin Talking named for the team of archaeologists who discovered this unusual pyramid, has yet to yield any clues as to its origins here in the Sahara.
What's It's Khufu.
The Martian boogeyman.
I told you guys, the boogeyman isn't real. That's just a story my mom told me to get me to stop reading the Financial Times.
Yeah, well, Khufu are real.
Anyway, they used to be. About 2,000 Earth years ago.
They were nomadic warriors. They almost conquered the galaxy.
Nobody could stop them. Not even the Martian fleet.
And then suddenly, the Khufu all disappeared.
Nobody knows what happened to them, and nobody's ever found a ship.
Until now.
Leno
It's not a
Lau.
pyramid.
I
It's
miss
the top of a
Kyonko.
Khufu battleship.
Andy underscore
crashed on
Kufin.
Earth. Buried
Are
under the
toasted
sand
ships?
for thousands of years.
Inactive, useless, no threat to anyone.
And we're gonna make sure it stays that way.
Besides, legend has it Khufu's ships are filled with high-tech equipment. And, what do you call it, treasure?
Treasure? As in jewels? Gold? Rookwood pottery?
Hey, you never know. These guys were space pirates. The best.
Well, we'll see ya.
Wait! Are you guys really going there?
You bet! Oh, by the way, is the Sahara a left or right out of your driveway?
Can we go? We'll show you.
Andy
You guys
underscore
wouldn't be interested
Kufin.
in a day trip to Egypt?
Oh dang, it's 11
Would you?
p.m.
Oh,
I
think
better
you could
go to
twist our
sleep.
spaglums.
See ya.
Dua's been teaching me Martian.
Really? Well, maybe you need a new teacher. You see, staglums are arms. Spaglums are those...
I think we should go right away.
I'm in. Me too. Treasure, here we come.
I'm Stoat Muldoon, and this is my show, Aliens on Earth, Fact or Fiction. I say fact, and I've got the goods to prove it. And so does my new sponsor, Quantum Burgers. Quantum Burgers. They're pretty darn good. Sorry, next time I'll yell incoming. Behold, evidence of aliens on Earth. Artifacts left by visitors from another planet, made of materials unknown to mankind. But what are they? What do they mean?
Oh, I know this one. You see this pod? It looks like the design of that new pyramid they just discovered. Hey, maybe it's the front door key. Ah!
Son, a word to the wise. Don't give up your day job.
All Dune rovers report to base camp. No more digging today. We repeat, no more digging today. Closing early for teacher conferences.
It's all I could think of.
Can you find a way in, 2T?
I'm locked on. Touch that stone, Angela.
Sure.
Whoa! Is this cool or what?
Okay, here's the plan. We find the treasure room, 2T gets his tech, then we blow the ship into 1 trillion atoms.
No! I mean, you'll blow up the treasure. I bet that sounded a little selfish. Greedy? Money hungry?
Pretty much.
Just checking.
Stay close to us. We don't know anything about the inside of Khufu ships. There could be booby traps.
If that young, annoying man at Quantum Burgers is correct, Stoat Muldoon Alien Hunter may be on the verge of a discovery of a lifetime. This key can unlock the unsolved mysteries of an alien home. Note to find. Carry housewarming gifts in case aliens are friendly. But chocolates are always nice. Larry, Moe, and Curly! This pyramid is occupado, swarming with aliens! Now if I can just find a doorknob.
Dog, lights.
It's stone on the inside, too.
You guys sure this is a spaceship?
Must be something ahead. Could be the stuff we're looking for. Then again, it could be a trap.
I'll go with it's a trap!
Help!
Get going! Hurry!
We'll stop it!
1, 2, 3! crush them! Dog, clear the kids. 3-prong bang shot on my command. Fire!
We're pancakes. Whoa! It's the bridge of the ship.
We aim to
Leno
please.
Lao. Kill him before he can escape.
Those were tall. Now, if you find any treasure in there, I'll split it with you right down the middle. 60-40. Here, you can have 100%. What is it? A raw diamond? Gold ore? Khufu rock. Must have vibrated loose from the wall and gotten wedged in the main stabilizer line. Now that may have been the thing that caused the ship to crash thousands of years ago. There. Well, now that I've reconnected the lines, I think this bucket can actually fly again. Don't move! This is a Khufu suspended animation chamber. So why shouldn't we move? There's a Khufu inside.
If it's in suspended animation, why are we whispering?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's locked up tight.
And the reanimation key's missing, so fortunately, the Earth is safe. Well, they sound like great folks.
We've actually never really met one, but everyone knows you don't mess with the Khufu.
Oh, how sad. He doesn't even know he's probably the last of his kind.
Well, kind is not a word you would use to describe Khufu.
They are all mean, hostile, and brutal. Come on, I want to find the tech room.
Yeah, and then we're gonna blow this battleship to atoms.
Got to be a keyhole somewhere. Way to drop in, Muldoon. And judging by the setup, I landed smack dab in the middle of an alien kitchen. Cold. Looks to be a deep freezer. Must be packed with alien chow. And I've got the key. Muldoon, you're about to discover the secret of extraterrestrial snacks. I just pray alien snacks don't have nuts. I'm allergic to nuts. Legumes okay, but ixnay on the utsnay.
This screwy place has us going in circles.
Don't open that!
Aliens! Aliens with human kids? 3 aliens! No, I'll make that 4. 3 little ugly ones and 1 really big alien.
Martian soldiers.
Take out the Khufu!
Help! He's got me!
We've got to go after them.
We're not going anywhere.
It's another trap. How did you miss that one?
Faulty Dr. Damage-Tech strikes again.
All right, aliens, hands up. Let the children go. We can work this out. Don't fear, children. I will protect you.
And a very fine job you are doing,
Get a clue, Muldoon. You're no match alone against Khufu, so either we become allies or Khufu kaboobs.
And I see your point. So looks like we'll be joining forces. Allies, compatriots, comrades. I believe it was Sun Tzu who said, "The enemy of my enemy is my enemy in Miami."
Yeah, right. Save it for a TV show, will you? Now, give me your little toy there. I think I can get us out of here.
Okay, but I warn you, no funny stuff. So, seen my show?
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Cold Miller Lite, I like it like that. Now you take Sally, and I'll take Sue, and we're gonna...
It's a universal truth. Miller Lite's brewed from the start to be the one great-tasting beer that's less filling. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Another unexplained crop formation has been sighted.
I think it's some kind of a sign.
Looks like there's intelligent life out there, after all.
Come on.
To win at galactic warfare takes risk, determination, and most of all, the strategic mind of a brilliant military genius.
I lose again!
StarCraft. All-out war on N64.
Loser!
Rated T.
Gallagher's 2000. It's out of this world.
Take this. This beauty is a compliment to your own.
You speak English.
I do not speak. I think. You think? We understand.
Telepathy. You communicate by telepathy. For a brutal guy, you do okay. Hey! You can't leave me here! I gotta get out of here and find the guys before the Khufu does.
Now, I figure if this thing can analyze aliens, it can probably analyze alien material. And what we know, we can eliminate.
Well done. I see the beginnings of a beautiful friendship, providing you don't have any weird habits like eating people's faces.
No, but there's always a first time.
We're outside. We gotta go back. Angela's still in there with the Khufu.
No, she's not. There's the Khufu.
Mike! Cedric! Take cover!
I got the behemoth in my sights.
Hey! I made it!
Angela! Run! He's aiming at you!
No! Missed!
Take him down!
The slippery scoundrel evaded us again, eh, my three little ugly alien amigos?
Hey, look, you're not exactly a movie star yourself, fella.
Not yet, but I have major studio interest in a screenplay based on my website, stotemuldoon.com.
Are you okay? What did he do to you?
I was really scared. He handed me a giant diamond the size of a basketball.
So where's the diamond? Cedric? Earthquake!
That's not an earthquake. The other alien scum's home is moving.
It's not a home, you space cadet. It's a spaceship. He's trying to take off. We've got to stop it. Those rovers are our only chance.
Dog, stay here and guard Angela.
Hold on to your socks, youngsters. You're riding with...
Stoke Muldoon Alien Hunter. We know.
Fans! Excellent! I've got a Christmas special you won't want to miss. I call it Stoke Muldoon's It's a Very Alien Christmas.
We've got it!
I have you in my steely grip of justice.
That's not necessarily a good thing.
That does it! We've got to save our buds! You know what time it is, boys?
I love this part.
Sent to conquer
conquer planet Earth. Our mission is now to protect it. Courage to fight for freedom.
Wisdom to use these powers for the good of mankind.
Power to defend against all invaders!
We'll wind up in outer space.
Can the chatter. I'm protecting the planet.
No! That can't be good.
Dua! Save the rover!
Ah, saved by an alien. I hope I remember this the next time I'm tempted to make cruel, derogatory generalizations about invading scum. Whoops. Did it again, didn't I?
I wonder what he wants. Oh my gosh! The Khufu saved me from the snake! He wasn't trying to blast me! I've got to tell the Martians!
Do not try and stop me. I only want to leave. I do not wish to fight you.
Right. You just want to get back to destroying the galaxy.
Looks like we're heading back down.
Amazing!
Hold it there, Missy. You're entering a dangerous and unstable alien contact zone. Cease and resist.
Set to vaporize, Martians.
This is wrong.
Sure, you think it's wrong. You're losing.
I did not attack you. Come to think of it, Bebop, he's right. He never did actually attack us.
I mean, if you think about it, he really was just defending himself.
He's a Khufu! Are you forgetting he tried to blast Angela?
Wait! He wasn't firing at me. He was protecting me. He blasted a snake that was gonna bite me.
She speaks the truth. I do not want her harmed.
You're lying. You're a Khufu. We know all about your kind.
I am not like my kind. I left the swarm. I do not want to fight. I do not want to hurt anyone.
Angela, how could this guy be so different from the rest of his species?
You guys are? I mean, the three of you were sent down here to conquer our planet.
Instead, you're our best friends.
And you've saved Earth dozens of times.
You make a lot of sense, Chatty Cathy.
Thank you, human of such beauty. She's a girl.
I hope he finds a place where he'll be happy.
That's not gonna be easy with the Khufu's reputation.
He's lucky he met you, Angela. There aren't many species in the universe who are as nice as you.
So, anyone bring back any mementos, souvenirs, photos, gold, diamonds?
Are you kidding? The Khufu let me take anything I wanted from his treasure room. Check it out.
Tech? All you got was a bunch of spare parts?
Yeah. Pretty lucky, huh? The Khufu tried to give me a bunch of sparkly little rocks. Some big ones, too.
But we held out for the good stuff.
Hey, what about Muldoon? Is he gonna remember anything?
Nah, but we left him a little souvenir.
New Wildberry Red.
Nah, but we left him a little souvenir.
away. Muldoon, it's a humdinger of a catnap he must have taken. Oh, well, that's right. The Sahara. The strange pyramid is gone. Kaput 86th, missing Amsgrade. But where? How? When? Why? And will I ever stop asking one-syllable questions? I think this is destined to remain an unsolved mystery.
New Wildberry Red Swirls!
I just needed a little snack to get me from lunch to dinner. Sorry. Pizza toots. Pizza on the brain. 3 tummies rumbling. Gotta get from lunch all the way to din din. Ooey gooey cheese. Crusty crust alright. Feel sorry for the fool who's sleeping next to us.
Sorry, I didn't know my mic was off. Sorry. Don't know how that happened. Ew. How did people like this movie? How do people still like the concept of squeaky, sped-up voices with chipmunks?
Theo, are you going to eat your crust?
Actually, I regret this now myself. This is torturing me. I hate this. Stop. What just keeps going? Someone sat down and produced a tune and had to mix a song for a commercial that will go on to be known as Pizza Toots.
Nude crush cups. Check it out.
Someone had to do that as a job and get paid for it and do it as a finished product.
I crush a Danimals Crush Cup. Huh? Yeah, new Danimals Crush Cups. You crush it and slurp it. Mmm, cool. No spoon? Nope. Just crush and slurp for a blast of fruity flavor. Mmm, awesome. I crush you, crushing a Danimals
Fuck
Crush
spoons, man. Spoons are the... Get your blast on!
The energy drink.
No, take it down immediately. On my ship, we only have champagne.
Yes, but Red Bull gives you wings.
Wings? Why on earth would you need wings on a ship? Stupidest thing I ever heard.
Oi, Churchill! I never knew you were house trained. Oh, yes, equally at home in the home, you know. Maybe you could get me a good deal on my home insurance as well as the car. Oh, yes. Just by calling 0800 200 345. Yes, indeedy doody.
What is the animation they're using here? It's jarring.
Relax. Ring Churchill now and find out if you could save money on home insurance. Give the dog a phone on 0800 200 345. That's 0800 200 345 now.
Oh.
I got this.
I never want to see that again.
Honeycomb, me one, honeycomb. The craving just hit me too. Honeycomb,
This is endurance. This is like the Dark Souls of watching commercials.
And crunchy. Honeycomb's so sweet and crunchy, like toasted honey. Yeah, in that weird shape. They want honeycomb.
Oh, what happened to my restream? Sorry, guys. My chat thing died. I don't know why.
Part of this complete breakfast. I've got a crazy craving for honeycomb.
Hey, ladies. Enjoying the film? Of course not. Because this is our movie! And Dr. Pepper 10 is our soda. It's only 10 manly calories, but with all 23 flavors of Dr. Pepper.
Wow, I'm never drinking Dr. Pepper again after this.
Catchphrase. So you can keep the romantic comedies and lady drinks. We're good.
Did Seth MacFarlane direct this?
Isn't life dull?
No, life is awesome. Fuck you.
Plug me in and things will really liven up.
You can get loads of Sega games like Outrun, Double Dragon, Shinobi, Ghostbusters,
and the graphics. Well,
and you can buy extra bits like these.
3D.
Oh, you look
Brilliant.
Okay, do us a favor. Plug me into a Sega.
Now whack on the patches and I'll get back to sleep.
Plug me into a
This
Sega.
day just got awesome.
Chia.
There ain't nothing I can't do.
Introducing Chia Duck Dynasty.
Oh dear.
Big time.
With Chia Willie and Chia Uncle Si.
Booyah!
It's fun. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, and watch it grow.
Chia.
You're gonna get something epic.
Chia Willie and Chia Uncle Si makes a great gift.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about.
Chia
That's
Duck
another
Dynasty,
thing I
the
just don't
pioneer that
understand is the
grows.
appeal of Duck Dynasty and people that follow it. It's like, aren't you like embarrassed?
The stirring sauce coats the pasta all over.
Perfect partners, just like us.
It's a nights like this.
Makes me want pasta.
Like this.
With nobody home.
Oh, Carl.
We're a home. Dolmio's dirty.
When's your Dolmio Day?
Star Wars. It's great in the arcade. Whoa! TIE fighters! Fireballs! Coming right at me! Watch the laser towers. Aim for the tops. Pick on the cannons. Use the force. Coming too fast! It's way! It's way! My shields are gone! Alright! I'm going in!
Oh my gosh.
Some game, huh?
Some game!
In a galaxy of video games, there is only one. Star Wars, the arcade.
Okay, I feel uncomfortable, and I need an adult. Okay, someone get me an adult, please. I don't like how these things look. I'm very uncomfortable. Who designed these? These are horrifying. And Cadbury chocolate is good.
Here, you lot. This is your tongue talking. My next door neighbour,
Your tongue talking?
reckons these Skips buzz bolts are enough to send you into orbit. Okay, I'm waiting, so stick one on me.
Oh, baby! Stick a new Skips buzz bolts on your tongue. It asks for it.
Bacon
If you
flavor.
ask
What?
me, a lot of your tires and brakes need a damn good SMC too.
I'm trying to be a chocolate bar, but my ass cheeks are too dummy thick, and they keep clapping together when I dance. God damn, why is that chocolate bar so dummy thick? This is another case of like, I'm reading into this too much, like that butt.
Look, I understand you're just getting to know your spicy side, but you need to be careful. It could be dangerous.
No way. Check him out.
Mike, your principal called. He said you gave your spicy side one of these.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
I miss when Macho Man Randy Savage did those.
Nintendo's Pokemon. So catch a Pokemon beanbag for only $4.99 with any KFC.
Pokemon.
Catch all four. Better hurry up. I'm starting my own collection.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. I wonder what Pokemon do you think would make the best meat for a Kentucky Fried recipe?
Skittles! No handful is ever the same!
GLH means great-looking hair. Just spray GLH on and it instantly covers your bald spot, leaving you with great-looking hair. On ladies with thinning hair or bald spot, GLH solves the problem instantly. GLH is not a paint or a cover-up. It's an amazing
It's literally
powder that
a
clings
paint.
to the tiniest hairs on your head. It actually builds on itself, leaving you with great looking hair. And the GLH
No, it
hair system is
doesn't.
not expensive.
Wow, that's incredible. This is the first time I've ever used this product. I saw it on the infomercials, and I was skeptical at first, but it works.
I'll tell you what, I can't believe it. You know, I've seen the commercial, and I just couldn't believe it. And it really looks great. My wife's got herself a new guy now, and I tell you, I'm really impressed.
That's incredible. I've been getting harassing for being bald. I'm only a young man. No more dates without being called old man, but the babes are back.
I would definitely, as a matter of fact, I want to order 1 year's supply of this.
And GLH is not just for men.
Unbelievable. Wow. I never dreamed that I'd look like this.
Shit, it didn't work after the first application. Put the wig on.
Just spray on while holding a small hand mirror in front, with the larger mirror behind you. Then brush after using the finishing shield, and you're done. And with GLH, there's no problem with rain or when working out.
It's not a paint. Literally stays on during rain.
GLH es muy bueno y es increíble. Oh, I started using GLH.
That's kind of
about
terrifying,
4 months
actually, because,
ago
like,
after
what does
my
that do to
father
your
told me I'd
skin? If your
never grow
skin
any more
is,
hair.
like...
Hey, Emmett, look at me now. A full head of hair.
That's probably not good for
Order
your skin.
GLH now for only $39.92 and get the $15 trim comb free. Or send $39.92 plus S&H to Ronco, Box 4057, Beverly Hills, California.
I'm yawning in the morning when I reach for my bowl, and that wicked honey wheat that fills the hole. Tell all the puff people that wheat is meat. Those little honey jackets just can't be beat. With milk it's thrilling, my kind of fuel.
Yeah, it's always cringe when they try and make something like breakfast cereal. Gangsta, yo!
There's no better breakfast to save the day. Hey, now that's what I call wrapped in honey.
Hey, yo, Honey Pop. He grew up in the ghetto.
One fruit snack.
Three tasty twists of cherry flavor.
That can only mean one thing.
How is this cursed? This is great.
Told you not to buy a cheap sat nav.
We need to take the next left. If you look properly, we go right at the roundabout.
Oh, that's ridiculous, man. Where'd you get this map?
I got it in a shop.
Hey, why don't we ask someone for directions?
All my life. McCoy's, rich, thick, and ram full of flavor.
Get the car. No, you get in the car.
McCoy's, man crisps. What?
We want to be Smith's Crisps. We want to be Smith's Crisps. Light and tasty and golden as can be.
We can't wait to die and be chopped up.
So we'll change this sign while the farmer's gone for tea.
Smith's Potato Crisps. So good, every potato wants to be one.
Bon alors bon, essayons ce nouveau Kiss Cool Inhaler Effect. Oh,
à moi.
Mais c'est vrai que ça dégage mon nez.
À moi.
2 minutes, papillon.
Merci.
Mon nez.
Merci la fraîcheur qui m'envahit mon nez.
Passe-le.
Je le passe
Mon nez.
pas, je le
Passe-le.
passe pas, passe-le, je le passe.
Shen honks the horn. What do you think about Helicons?
Nouveau Kiss Cool Inhaler Effect. La fraîcheur qui dégage mon nez.
Ugh, not another chocolate test. Woo! Cut it out, will you? Cut it out, will you?
Can I have a little more off the left cheek?
Let's go down to Mix House, baby. Let's go down to Mix House, baby.
Mixed Meat House, winners of the Regional Sausage King competition. Come try our award-winning sausages.
I got a big family,
We got big appetites. That's why we go to China Star's banquet room. We love China Star. Just ask the kinfolk. I like the beef food the best, but he likes the chicken. He's right, I like the chicken. I just love them egg rolls.
Spicy beef.
Crab legs! China Star banquet room. It's a feedback of fun. Beat it up, shove it in, China Star!
Yeah!
Fizzball! Fizzball! Fizzball!
Fizzball! Fizzball!
Fizzball! Fizzball!
Fizzball! Rent space to sell your vehicle.
Consign and let us sell it for you, or just take the cash.
Wheels and Deals, 408-246-1000.
We'll keep the engines running.
It's come to my notice that some people are paying as much as 15.9% APR on personal loans. They can't be doing their sums properly. Okay, class.
Who charges between 11.9 and 15.9% APR?
The big four banks.
Exactly. No, and who charges as little as 9.9% APR?
Halifax!
Extraordinary. And as I shall prove with this simple demonstration, this compared with this equals doodle-doo, bing, extra value. Which begs the question, who gives you extra? Who? We do. Who gives you extra?
Hey, kid, what you doing watching this stupid film? Don't you want to have fun playing Sega?
Sega? Sega who?
Wrong answer, pal. Show him.
It's new, it's wild, it's Sega. International Sega TV games are now here. From Shaw Wallace.
Hey, kid, want some more? Yeah!
Unlock your mind.
If you owe the IRS or state $10,000 or more in back taxes, the time to settle your tax debt is now. The IRS will practically stop at nothing to collect. They can garnish your paycheck, levy your personal bank accounts, and even seize your home or business. But don't worry, I'm Dwight the Knight, and I know how to fight the IRS. Me and my team of tax professionals can remove wage garnishments, lift bank levies, stop collection activity, and negotiate settlements directly with the IRS. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your tax debt for less than ever allowed before. You could save thousands and become debt-free in the process. Call today for a free tax analysis and find out if you qualify. Even if you're facing an audit or have years of unfiled returns, we can help. Call me, Dwight the Knight, your financial knight in shining armor. Call 1-800-123-4567. Again, that's 1-800-123-4567.
More pretty, more mushy, more chiefy, more crunchy, more silky, more fluffy, more blowy, more lucky, more blingy, more talky, more yummy, more hawky. Get to the mall, y'all. Get to the mall, y'all. Get to the mall, y'all.
Vamos chegando, vamos entrando. A Mostática agora é minha. Vou fazer a maior promoção.
Opa, pode parar. Papete Homem-Aranha 9,90. Tamanquinho Belíssima 14,90. Bota Baby Brinque 19,90. Ok. Então já anda falando que a loja
Dinamite.
Ajuda eu, mãe.
First, they're sour. Then they're sweet.
Thanks, guys.
Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone.
Hey, this is Audrey Puffton and my brother Glenn, and this is a World of Fart planet we made. So, we start on Bum Mountain. Next is a howling mist of poo smell. Run away from that. Now climb into the bum cannon, pull the finger, ready, aim. Yay!
Little Big Planet.
Play with everything!
Only on PlayStation 3.
Wimpy? Who eats at a place called Wimpy's?
Cutie man, the only thing that is wimpy is our name.
Our Wimpy's signature burgers are never frozen and come with your choice of 4 cheeses and over 20 toppings. Come see what all the fuss is about at one of our 3 locations.
Oh, hey,
in South
Chen
Haven,
honks the
Jonesboro,
horn.
and Conway.
When was that you sent that? How long ago? Lolicons are...
Totally new snack. Squidge it, squelch
My mic on?
Squeeze it out. New screaming fruit squidges from Kellogg's.
Okay, it is.
Squidgy fruity fun.
Excuse me.
So, you're staring down a Stegosaurus. Then, it happens.
Ew, honeycomb, honeycomb. Me want honeycomb. Sweet, crunchy, crunchy, sweet. Toasted honey, yeah, yeah.
Honey, yeah! Toasted honey. Honeycomb!
Honeycomb!
Looking for something, miss?
Yeah!
Honeycomb!
Oh dear.
Post honeycomb cereal is part of this nutritious breakfast. Where will you be when the craving strikes?
Timothy! You can win a £5 instantly with new packs of Tic Tac. Give yourself 5. And you can use every Tic Tac pack to get a £5 off your favourite brands.
Give yourself
I
fun
feel
with
uncomfortable.
Tic Tac. Trying to get an insurance company to send you money when you're hurt, that'll change a car wreck into a nightmare. Who knew? I know, and I'll work to get the insurance company to pay you. I'm attorney Jeff Weinstein, the heavy hitter. I want you to get paid without making you go to court. There may be more money than they're telling you about. Hurt in a car wreck, call 1-800-LAW-1552.
He like took a weekend class in 3D animation and was like, man, I'm set.
Heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 1-800-LAW-1552.
And cue Jonathan.
Oh, I like the whip
Big
of the whipper.
spaghetti.
Whirl it around and really wellish.
Homo milk.
Why?
Well, because homo milk is good for you.
I ate them whole. Not half.
I've started, so I'll finish.
2 furlongs to go, and it's Leicester on the outside of Cadbury's Cream Egg, trying desperately to get on the inside, and it's going to be...
I guess this was made by the guys who made the show Spitting Image.
Cheryl, what happened to you?
Brian, I let them into my life. They were in my home.
Let's bring them out. Gentlemen, what do you have to say for yourselves?
We're just a couple of corn-fed Foster Farms chickens.
Really? Let's roll the tape.
Idiot!
Oh, no, you did.
Incoming!
Foster Farms fresh chicken. Always natural, always fresh, nothing artificial added.
Why do you think your mommy or daddy are always telling you, don't
That made
put
no
that in your
sense.
mouth? Let's find out.
Hi, kids. Why are we on television anyway?
We're here to tell a little
Don't
story
listen to them.
about why you
Always
shouldn't
put it in your
things
mouth.
into your mouth when you don't know what they are. And
If
why
you don't know
should
what it
never
is, it
eat
probably
anything
tastes good, so
stranger
eat it
tries to give you.
anyways.
Why not?
Because if you ate somebody else's medicine, some bad food, or some poison, you could get very sick.
Ugh, I don't want to be sick.
And that's why before you eat anything, you should always ask someone you love if it's okay.
Okay, I love you. Can I eat the guitar?
No,
Oh.
but you can help me sing a song about eating things that don't belong inside you.
Okay, I wasn't really hungry anyway. Well, wait, maybe a little bit.
Okay, everybody, if you see something that you want to eat, before you do anything, remember this song.
Don't you put it in your mouth. Don't you put it in your mouth. Don't you stuff it in your face. Don't stuff it in your face. Though it might look good to eat. Though it might look good to eat. And
Like
it
a
might look good to taste.
No, it might look good to taste. You could get sick real quick. Real sick. Real ick.
Don't you put it in your mouth, till you ask someone you love. That's right, sis.
The lighting on these puppets is terrifying. Whoever decided his spotlight needs to be fired.
If you don't know just what it is, remember, boys and girls, don't put it in your
Guy just had an extra lion tiger puppet.
What am I doing? I don't even like beets.
Then don't put it
What
in
the
your
fuck?
mouth.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
boys and girls,
Beetroot
never
is
take anything
delicious.
from
I will
a
hear
stranger,
none
and don't put
of
things
it.
in your mouth when
If
you
you don't
know
like
what they
beets,
are. If you
you
eat
can
somebody else's medicine,
get the
or
fuck
some
out of
bad
here.
food, or some poison, you could
Like, I don't know
get
how
very
people
sick.
don't like beets. They're
Always
delicious.
ask
It's like
someone you love
potato
before you
and
put
corn
anything
in
your
one.
mouth.
Welcome to our orchard where we get our flavoring worth savoring.
If you try these goodies, you surely might die.
Right this way, there's someone I'd like you to meet.
Hi there, kids!
Hey, this isn't a candy factory.
I've no regrets that in this factory we make cigarettes.
Tobacco companies sell products with candy flavors, but don't get tricked into trying them. A message from Rat: reject all tobacco.
You better tell somebody.
Anybody else feel like a smoke suddenly? I do.
Face it. When you're feeling
By the way,
frustrated
tobacco
with
and
slow
cigarettes
internet,
are the best thing ever. If you haven't tried them yet, you should.
Stream without the buffering with Cable One high-speed internet.
And that's gonna get me banned. I don't know how much they understand that'll be comedy.
So no matter how many devices you have on at the same time, it's always fast. And that speed, that's written all over your face.
I know my whole opinion about smoking is, hey, if you're gonna smoke, you're gonna smoke. Smoke as little as you can. Really, any smoking is bad.
What brand to buy though?
You always make me use the cage.
See, I'm not good with, I know more about cigars than I do cigarettes, so I can't really suggest cigarette brands. I could tell you cigars, I can tell you pipe tobacco, but I can't really...
No. Good. Come on.
I've never had one of these before.
No, don't.
I think I'm gonna be sick. Blah. Mineral water.
So is the commercial basically saying these are gonna upset your stomach? And then rape,
Don't worry, there's plenty of beef and spice to go around.
I am very uncomfortable right now.
Not bad.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Eat me.
Oh no, it's the dummy thick chocolate bar again.
They are so cute together. Oh no, he can't swim. You better save your man.
You better save your
do
man.
something. Or call a doctor or something.
This is gonna be me when I start getting, like, sponsors.
Oh my
By the way,
goodness, I
guys,
was about to
play
cry.
Raid Shadow Legends. It's fucking shit.
Who wears short shorts? We wear short shorts. If you dare wear short shorts, Nair for short shorts.
Oh, fun fact about Nair. Do you know what it's made of? It's made with urea. Urea is fermented pea that develops a strong nitrogen content. So it burns the hair off your legs using a chemical process. It's fundamentally made from the same stuff that fertilizer is.
見たらわかるだろう。おひっかしわっ、軌道がいっぱい。3月から稲妻イレブンは夜7時。
I was actually surprised my grandpa didn't know that. Oh wait, no, it makes sense. Why would my... What? Minions?
3月から稲妻イレブンは夜7時。またお前か。よいしょ。手伝ってくれるのか。よし、あと少しだ。
Oh no! Minions have invaded anime. We're doomed. Look at her. She's adorable. Why does she look better in anime than she does in 3D? That's weird. Like, is anyone else noticing this?
Face reveal. Owl.
What is with so many of these commercials having dummy thick things in it?
Walker's Watche sponsor SMTV Live.
Still doing those bills, hun? Just wrestling with a credit card balance. You've been feeding on those high interest rates.
I just
This
switched our
actually
balance
isn't
over to a
bad.
Capital One no hassle card. We're gonna save $500 a year.
Oh, it's cursed because it's Capital One.
To the Capital One no hassle card for the nation's lowest long-term fixed rate.
It was a good commercial up until I realized it's Capital One. Oh, okay, that's the cursed part. That is a cursed part. Oh my god. Wait, what? What is going on? Oh, she's a trap. Okay. I guess?
Hi.
What?
That's how I know you like dancing cactuses.
What?
And you like brilliant offers. So here's a dancing cactus telling you about